Hey, what is up, Toyota fans? Welcome back to another Toyota Tuesday. I am Brian from 6th Gear Garage, and normally I have with me Clinton from Dirt Garage, but he is missing in action tonight. I'm not sure if he's out wrenching and forgot it was Tuesday or if something came up. Hopefully he's all right, man. I couldn't get a hold of him, but maybe he'll join us here in a little bit. So this is a show for all the Toyota fans for both of our channels, and we're here to take all your questions and talk Toyotas with you guys for until about 10 o'clock here. So fire away any questions. I'm rolling solo tonight, so I may not be able to answer all your V6 and V8 swap questions like Clinton could, but I'll give it my best shot. And when we get some downtime or later on in the show, there's an email address stickied up at the pinned up at the top of the comment list here. Go ahead and shoot me your pictures of your trucks, and we'll take a look at those as well. The email is different this week. I'm going with we have Toyota Tuesdays at gmail.com, so we're going to use that email now instead of my other one. So let's see, we got Hearsay Henderson up in here tonight. Yeah, man, we like putting this on. This is fun, man. This is actually fun for me. I get a chance to kind of sit back and relax and unwind, and I don't have anybody like around here to talk Toyotas with, so I enjoy this show a lot. Update on my channel. I don't have anything new as far as my 85 or my Land Cruiser, but I did pick up that 1981 Toyota pickup, the long bed. And well, let's start with the good news first. The good news is I got that truck. I ended up getting it trailered. My buddy Mikey from the shop spot came out and trailered it back to my house for me. And good news, we made it home safe. Everything started. Everything worked all right. However, as we unloaded the truck off of the trailer, the brake line blew out like somewhere under the cab, and it just lost all brake pressure. So it's a good thing I didn't drive it. So that worked out well. It's in the garage now, parked with or the pole barn, I should say. Parked with the 85 extra cab, the rusty 87 4x4, and the 88 Acura Legend, which I really need to get that thing out of here so I can start in this 81. I'm really excited about the truck. I got a picture here I'll show you guys later. It's rough. It's going to be a challenge. I've done some restoration work before, but nothing quite this bad. So we'll see what we got. The bad news, I was going to have a video for you guys this week on restoring the cracked dashboard of a Toyota truck. And I've been working on this, here and there the last couple weeks. It was going pretty good. And then I got to the last step. I got the dash all smooth, the cracks were all filled, it was ready to go. And I really messed up on the final application. I don't think I want to show the video of how it turned out. So what happened was the vinyl I used was marine grade, and it had like the cloth embedded in the back side of it. So I think it was too thick, and I just couldn't get it wrapped around the right side of the dash pad. And the other part that gave me a problem, which I expected this, was the recess part up on the top, kind of like where you can put change or whatever. That part, I was having trouble getting that to stick. So I think what I'm going to do is go back, and even though this vinyl was the correct color gray, it was too thick. They did have some thinner vinyl meant for like recovering furniture that was more thin and stretchy. So I think I'm going to go with that and just buy some of the spray paint dye stuff and just paint it to match my dash. The stuff I used was just way too thick. So unfortunately, the glue that I used, I think it was called Fast Tack, it's really good. It's really strong. So it is very well bonded. When I first started, I actually messed up and I had to rip part of it off, and I was like pulling this thing as hard as I could. It was really, really well bonded. So I gotta peel that off, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to find some solvent to get the glue off. Otherwise, it'll be all lumpy underneath the new vinyl, and then kind of start back from step 9 here. So just that last tenth of the job is where it all went bad. But you know what? I get a lot of comments where people say, hey, I'm glad you left your mistakes in the video. It kind of showed me what not to do. So maybe I will leave that in the final video. It'll be a learning lesson of what not to do. But yeah, don't know about Clinton. Hopefully everything is good. Maybe a short show tonight. But let's jump over. I found something really cool I want to show you guys. Let's jump over to my other desktop. And I found somebody that fabricated a Toyota bed from a Jeep. Sounds crazy, but it actually worked. There you go. Look at that. What do you guys think of that? This is a truck that's for sale locally. It's I forget. I think it's like an 88 or 87, and it had a before picture. Let's see if the before picture's in here. No, it's not in here. But that was just all rusted out like they do get. So he bought a scrapped out Jeep Wrangler, cut it in half, and filled in the gap here where the door once was. And it actually looks pretty good. It has the bob look as well. You guys like that? I think, I mean, obviously not as good as a Toyota bed, but here in Ohio, where those are far and few between, I'd rock this. Looks really good from that angle. Oh, hey, while we're in here, this is an email that I got late last Tuesday after the show ended. There we go. This is Joey, and this is his. Let me pull up the stats on this one here. It's got a lot done to it. His 1984, and it's got a propane 22R. Dual cases with 4.7 gears, FJ80 front axle with ARB locker, and the rear is from a 96 4Runner with Detroit locker. It's got 529 gears, and it's sitting on 40-inch Nitos. And I like this truck a lot. I mean, this thing has obviously been through quite a bit, but that's well built right there. Eventually, it'd be cool if I could get just a dedicated trail rig. I hate beating up my 85 too much now. And hey, while we're in here, I'll show you guys the 81 back at the garage. There it is. This thing, it's so small, even compared to the second gen trucks. I've had a lot of the second gens two-wheel drives, and this first gen two-wheel drive, it looks tiny, it feels tiny, but it was actually a lot of fun to drive. Well, until the brake line blew out. Then it was kind of sketchy. I took it down the road and back just to pull around the driveway. But yeah, you can see it needs pretty much everything except for a cab. The hood's got rust, the bumper is mangled. Underneath the front bumper, the air dam there, that's mangled. The grill is alright. The headlight is missing a chunk around the trim there. The front bumper's been smashed in a little bit. The doors, you can see all the rust on the doors. The cab has a little hole in the floor, but nothing horrible. There's my son in the back. Yes, he's I was taking a picture and he chucked a beer can at me, empty beer can at me mid-photo. But the interior wasn't horrible either. You know, I had the cracked dash, the usual stuff. And you know what? In case you missed last week's show, I think I had some pictures of that as well. Maybe I didn't here. I'll have to dig those up. But yeah, I think it's going to be a fun project. I've always wanted something that I can restore from start to finish. Because you guys that are watching all my videos, I'm doing, you know, how to on this vehicle and how to on this vehicle. But it's nothing like that's continuous. And I really want to show the before, show the process it takes to restore a vehicle and then show the after. That's my end goal, and I think this will be a good truck to do it with. It's going to be a lot of work. The bed is really rusty. I'll find those pictures in a little bit, but I think it'll be a good summer project. That's my kind of goal, is to work on this and have a lot of videos to upload through the summer, through the good weather. There'll be a lot of welding involved, a lot of fabrication. That's going to be most of it. Mechanically, it's good to go. It's got a 20R. It's got a Weber carb on it. It does need, obviously, some attention on the brakes. And the frame, there's no holes in the frame, but it is kind of scaly. It has a lot of surface rust on it. So I'll probably end up pulling the cab and the bed off and showing you guys how to clean up the bed and apply some rust sealant over that as well. But when it's all done, I found a couple pictures for my motivation here. When it's all done, I've got two options I can go. Here it is, kind of bone stock, what it would look like, all original. You can see it's got the original wheel. These are 14-inch wheels with the hubcaps, original graphics. And this one actually is a long bed too, which is pretty cool, just like mine. And I like this, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to save the bed, to be honest with you. It's really rough. And then I found this picture. I'm kind of liking this look too. I'm going to need to buy, like I said, new front fenders, and they don't make the two-wheel drive fenders anymore. You can only get four-wheel drive ones. So I may end up having to do a four-wheel drive front clip, because the four-wheel drive, it uses different fenders, a different air dam, and a different bumper. So I think all that's going to have to go at once in order to use the fenders and have all the body lines line up on it. And then, of course, I'd have to put some flares on the bed as well to match the fender flares up on the front. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I keep it all original, or at least try to keep it all original, or should I do something kind of like this, something kind of lowered? I don't want to say stanced out, because it's not really that stanced out, but you know, a little custom. In the end, I'm only going to use it probably as like a shop truck. I think I'll paint my logo on the door, the 6-Gear Garage logo, and I'll use it for Home Depot trips and hauling parts around, because I really hate lifting like transmissions out of my lifted 85 bed, because it's like, you know, almost chest high, and I'm getting too old for that. But yeah, what do you think? What do you guys think I should do with the truck? I'll let you guys have some input on that. Let's see. Fast Lane, what's up? Good to see you back again for another show. Explosion. I think it'd be cool to put some utility boxes in the side of the Jeep body. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good opportunity there to do that, for sure. All right, here, say he votes lowered on the 81, and it sure would look good. I've even got some wheels, because they use a 5-lug 114.3 bolt pattern, which is like the most common bolt pattern for 5-lug. And I've got a couple old sets of some old school wheels down in the basement that would look pretty cool on it. So I'm kind of tempted to go that route. Plus, I mean, the 14-inch steelies that are on it, 14-inch tires are so, you know, hard to find nowadays if it's not a trailer tire, because they're pretty much obsolete. Yeah, it would be cool. I mean, I'm obviously looking at a lot more to put into the project, you know, doing a lowering kit and all that, but I agree, it would be cool. I've never had a lowered truck. I've had lowered, you know, Hondas, and the TSX was lowered and all that, but never had a lowered truck. Always been into them. Ever since the you know, the mini truck phase of the 90s. I still like those. You guys know that. We talked about that the other week. I'm not ashamed. All right, guys. Shoot me some questions here. What are you guys working on? Tell me what you've been doing in the garage this week. I have not really touched the anything Toyota related, like I said. I've been trying to get that Acura up and running and get that thing moved on so I can have some space. You've got a dashboard. Is it for the first gen? Because if so, I may be interested. Mine has a small crack, not bad, nothing like a second gen dash, but it does have a sort of a cracked area around like the holes for the speaker. I'm guessing that just has like one speaker in the dash. I've never even taken it apart to look, but it has no door speakers either. I think it just has one speaker for the entire truck, which is kind of pathetic. What's up, Tom Jones? Good to see you back. Oh, it's for an 87. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to be on the hunt for some first-gen parts for a while. I did find a set of doors down in southern Ohio. The guy says they're clean. And he has some fenders and things like that too. In the flood of 2016 down here in Louisiana. Okay. Yeah, like I said, man, especially if it's in nice shape, I wouldn't mind buying it off you. So we'll be in touch about that. Always looking for some good parts. You guys know I hoard parts. Nah, man, I can't take it for free. Nah, man, I'll pay you something for it for sure. Or trade you something. You let me know. We'll figure it out. I don't like just taking parts from people. I feel bad because you could easily go sell that on Facebook Marketplace for something. So we'll work something out. All right, I'm really concerned about Clinton over here. I hope he's all right. Hopefully, too soon. I hope there was no other fire incidents. He's a good guy, man. We can joke about that. Tom Jones, spider gears install. All right. Anything to look out for? The play was from crosspin having a groove in it, I guess. How many miles were on that? I'm curious. I've not had that issue. I just know that I've personally never done gears, but I know you got to be real careful about the lash and all that. And if it was up to me, I would honestly pay someone to do it because I wouldn't want to do my own as a learning experience, unless I really wanted to take the chance of having to do it again. But a ton of miles, yeah. So how many miles do you guys have on your trucks? I'm curious, what do you guys consider the high mileage club for these? I've got, let's see, on my 85 extra cab 4x4, that's up to 195,000 miles, I think. I bought it with 175, so I mean that's 10 years ago, so it's really not a lot of miles. Those first two where ideally drove at 100 miles a day, that's where pretty much all of them came from. So I kind of baby it now. So yeah, that's getting up there. I've got, let's see, on my 87 with the broken frame, I think that one has like 138,000 miles. Really, really low. And then the Land Cruiser, that's got, I got to do the math here, 140, maybe 145,000 kilometers. So what's that, maybe like 90,000 miles about? Something around there. See, we need Clinton. He could do all this right off his head. And then the truck I just got, there's something weird going on with the title. I think they goofed when they made the title for the 81, because the title says it has 4,000 miles. And here, you know what? Let me see if I can find these pictures. I took a picture of the odometer. And what they actually did, they screwed up. They sort of counted the last digit, the one that's white, that turns every 10th of a mile. I think they counted that as a mile. So that title may have a flag on it now, unfortunately. I'm not sure if you can, not necessarily a bad thing, but it might just come back as exceeds mechanical limits. Which, on a truck that old, I don't even know if you can, wonder if you could do a Carfax on an 81. I know there's a limitation as to how far back they can do them. So not a huge deal, but kind of a bummer. And when I thought I was getting something that was like 65,000 or 65,000 miles, and it ends up being well, at least 165,000 miles. Who knows how many times that odometer is flipped, only being 5 digits. But oh yeah, here's say the time change got Clinton. You know what? You might be right. I don't know if they observe daylight savings up there or not. Yeah, that's a good point. So he might roll on here at 10 o'clock when we're done. I should, you know what? I'm gonna shoot him an Instagram message real quick here. Um, yeah, I didn't think about that. So yeah, what about you guys? Say how many miles you got on your truck? Let's see. He just posted on Instagram, so he's definitely okay. Oh, that was a day ago. All right. I'm just gonna shoot him a quick message here. Hey, and if Canada changes time or not. I'm on live if you want to join. All right. We'll see what he says. Sorry for the one-man show today. I don't have him to fill in while I'm doing all the technical stuff here. We miss you, Clinton. We miss hearing all your Canada tales there. 81 long bed. Oh, nice. We got the same truck. Now Tom, is yours a 2-wheel drive or a 4-wheel drive? You have a 2-wheel drive bed? Okay. Wait a minute. Um, do you want to sell the bed? Oh, 4-wheel drive? I'm guessing a 4-wheel drive bed is probably harder to find than a 2-wheel drive bed because they've been more abused. But around here, anything is hard to find. But I would just buy any long bed at this point, you know. And I guess if you did get a 2-wheel drive bed, Tom, I think you could add the flares for a 4-wheel drive if you could find the flares. I mean, they're long discontinued by now. Clinton just sent me back a message. He says, "Oh crap, I didn't even realize what day it was." He's alive and well. Build my own. I thought about that. Build my own flatbed. That's kind of like my plan B if I can't get this bed restored. I'm looking at the body lines, and they're actually the same as a door skin, and they do still make reproduction doors for the first gens. So I could just buy some doors and cut out the skins, scrap the rest of the doors, and weld those together for the bed sides. I have to fabricate around the wheel arch, but if I get that 4-wheel drive front clip, then I'll want to put some sort of a fender flare over the rear to match that anyways, and then I'll kind of, we'll say, cover up some of my potential fudge work, because I'll be honest, I'm not the best fabricator. I'm not a fabricator at all. I just kind of I make stuff work. All right, let me see if he's going to be joining us here soon. All right. What do we got here? We had a question. Just missed it. Nolan, okay. Keep the 81 long bed original. 20R engines are tanks. Very good. He had a 79 4x4 long bed. Yeah, I think it's going to come down to a lot if I can save the bed. whether or not I keep it original. If I have to flatbed it, obviously that'll really diminish the value of an original truck. But we'll see. We'll see once I get into it. Let's see here. Where were we? Hearsay. Do I need to have the valves checked or what maintenance at these miles? You have 236,000 miles. That's pretty good. Yeah, definitely. I'm assuming you've got a 22RE or 22R. The valve adjustment on that is pretty easy. I don't have all the specs on the top of my head, but I can actually look those up for you sometime. I've got the Toyota Bible right up here on my shelf. But yeah, it's pretty simple, especially on a 4-cylinder. It's a pretty fast job. I'd say 30 minutes, maybe an hour if it's your first time, but you don't have to take much off to get access to the valves anyways. It's easy to work on, especially if it's a 22R. 22RE, you got to get a little more stuff out of the way. Wait, we're eating children now? We've got a child eating, babushka overheating, hobo deleting. I don't know. Let's get weird. Hearsay, I like that idea. A flatbed with rolling supply drawers. That'd be cool, especially for a shop truck. Yeah. All right. Yeah, gaming with Scarlett and Mindy. I guess we have some new members today into some interesting hobbies. Not sure. I'm not on the internet enough to know what that's about. Let's see. Fishing up a storm. I found you a bed, but it's still in the truck, and they're asking 30,000. Is that an extra zero in there? Is that that Is that blue 4x4, the lifted one that I saw on eBay, I think a week or two ago? The barn find or whatever? Yeah. I think I saw that one. A little out of my price range. Maybe when I have like, yeah, that's the one. I thought so. Yeah, maybe when I get like 100,000 subs, or maybe even 500,000 subs, I'll be able to pick up that truck if it's still around by then. But yeah, the prices on these first gens, they blow my mind what an original one goes for. Original 4-wheel drive. The 2-wheel drives, they don't have the value that the 4-wheel drives have, understandably, because everybody wants the big lifted 4x4s. But I'm kind of excited. I've never really restored or worked on a 2-wheel drive. I just had that rusty. I had the 86 one-ton 2-wheel drive. That thing was a rusty mess. And it had like the engine was Frankenstein. It had a 20 or early 22R head, maybe long block too. I don't know. It's still in my garage. I haven't dissected it yet to see. But then it had a later 22RE intake and everything, fuel injection on it, and it just never ran right. So I parted that one out. And then of course the 87 that was lifted, and that frame was rotten as well. It's full of acorns and mice nests and all kinds of nasty stuff. So yeah, those weren't worth saving. I figured, here's how I look at buying a project. I've looked at a lot. I really wanted a first gen 4Runner so bad. You guys know that I've been looking for a long time for a first gen 4Runner, and I found some, but it just wasn't the right one. They either had a bad frame and a bad body, and a bad interior, or no motor. But those are the 4 categories. You got your frame, you got your body, and you got your interior and your drivetrain. Now, I don't mind buying a project that needs like 2 of those things. But when it starts needing 3 or 4 of those things, then you're looking at you're putting a lot into a truck. It's a lot of time, a lot of parts, and so much labor. For me, Then the drivetrain's the easiest stuff. I don't mind swapping an engine. You can do that in a day. The body and the framework is probably my least favorite. Interiors aren't that bad if you can find the parts. But so I found a really nice first gen 4Runner. It had been converted to a solid axle swap, but it was missing. It didn't include a solid axle. So I'm thinking like, how am I going to even move this thing around? So I looked for a solid axle. I couldn't find one, and it slipped away. It was only $700, but it needed some body work. Had rust around the rear fenders. The interior was trashed. The frame was really nice, but just didn't have the parts to be able to even move it. But this truck, this 81, you know, it's only body work, and the frame, I'm gonna clean it up, but it doesn't need any welding done. Mechanically, this engine is beautiful. It sounds perfect. Like you guys said, a 20R is a great motor. So, and the interior is not bad. You know, normal wear and tear for a truck that age, but nothing horrible. It hasn't been like off-roaded and abused. You know, it's not all nasty inside and ripped up and sun faded. Okay, back to comments. There's a brown one too. Okay, I haven't seen that one yet. Okay, apparently we have like some kind of like bots of some sort, spam bots commenting more on the children eating. I don't even know. I don't even know, guys. I don't know. You've seen the guy, Toyota Maintenance on YouTube. Ooh, Luke picked up a 86 4x4 long bed for $2,600. That's a nice find. Yeah, really good price. I mean, I don't know where you're located. Hopefully it's rust free. If so, you got a really good deal. If it needs, you know, if the bed's all rusted out or the frame's rusty, you got an okay deal. What year were those made? Hearsay. What are you referring to? Let me know. Matt Gaines has got a 1980 4x4 Toyota pickup. He needs a back bumper. Any idea if a bumper from a later generation Toyota will fit? Yes, I've seen that a lot of times. I've seen the third gen bumpers on the second gen trucks, and they fit good. They actually look pretty good too. Just a little bit more rounded, you know, to match the body of the third gen. But as far as I know, it should be a direct fit. Hopefully your brackets are good. You can reuse those. That might be the only thing. But if not, I mean, they make universal bumpers you can put on them. Fishing Up a Storm has an 87 4Runner. Great frame, no rust, new everything powertrain wise. Body's beat. Yeah, you rolled it. All right, you rolled it. You got a new top and one door and a front side panel for $100. Nice. See, that's what I need to find. I need to find something like that, just something cheap. Let's see. Okay. All right. So the $2,600 86 4x4 long bed was in Mexico. So yeah, you guys do. Is there even rust down there? Do you guys even have rust issues? If anything, it might just be like on the surface from the sun fading through the paint. Maybe, I don't know. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, glad you liked the show. Like I said, usually there's a little bit more going on, but Clinton is out of is MIA today. He forgot what day it was. I can't blame the man. He's been working on that truck, you know, rebuilding it since the fire, and he's making really good progress. And I know how that is, man. I get out there and I just don't want to stop wrenching. So. Hope you guys are subscribed to Dirt Garage. He put up a new off-roading video last Friday, this past Friday. It's been a while, so check that out for sure. All right, what generation 4Runner are you looking at in good shape? First gen, second gen? I just noticed this too. Even the third gen 4Runners with low miles are starting to go up in price. I don't know if you guys watch Doug DeMiro on YouTube. You love them or you hate them. You guys know what I'm talking about. This is my 19 whatever, that guy. So I know he annoys some people. I can tolerate him. I often don't. I often click off when he gets to the Doug score though. But he just had I think it was a like 99 or 2000, maybe 2001, black SR5 4Runner, 5-speed manual with only I think 26,000 miles on his channel, and he did a video on it maybe a week or two back, and the thing was being auctioned off on Cars and Bids, and I looked at it at the time. It was already over $20,000. I think it was in the low to mid 20,000s. I didn't see how that panned out, if that went up even more or not. But yeah, I've never seen a 5-speed 3rd gen 4Runner. I don't know how rare those are. But yeah, apparently the Toyota market it keeps going up. I mean, those 4Runners are only 20 years old now, and they're already going up in value. Oh, Jeff, you bought yours on Cars and Bids. That's cool. Hey, but by the way, guys, at the very top, I've got a pinned comment. There's an email up there, toyotatuesdays@gmail.com. So if you guys got any pictures of these, your trucks or whatever, go ahead and send them to me, and we'll take a look at those in a few minutes. It's already almost 9:45 here. Yeah, I'll check that out, Jeff. I'm on there browsing a lot just because it has a lot of, Cars and Bids is all enthusiast cars for the most part. And a lot of them are in pretty good shape too. So it's a fun site to browse on. Luckily, I've never bought anything. I've refrained. I like to buy stuff that needs more work. Most of the stuff on there is pretty polished, pretty much put together and complete. I'm more of a Craigslist kind of guy. I want something kind of rough, Let's see here. What do we got here? Oh, I missed some comments. Sorry, guys. Sorry here. All right, we got back up a little bit here. Where were we? Okay. Fishing up a storm. There was a note for the parts on the window when I went back to recover it 5 days to get out the mountain. Okay. All right, so fishing on a storm, like we talked about, he rolled his 4Runner, and when he came back to get it 5 days later, there was a note on the window that says that they had the parts available, and they ended up paying $100 for all those parts to repair it. That's awesome. You got some good people out your way. Out here in Ohio, is anybody in this show tonight from Ohio? If so, where do you go off-roading? Do you do Wellsville? Do you do Southington? Anyone else? Oh, we got Glenn chiming in here. All right, I hear you, Glenn.
Yeah, you hear me. My battery is not charged for my camera, though, so this is all you got. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Well, good to have you, man.
Yeah, sorry. I honestly didn't even realize what day it was, and not only that, the time changes got me messed up, because normally I'm out working in my garage until it starts getting dark, and then I come inside, and that's normally when about we'd start the show, but now the daylight's lasted a bit longer.
Yeah, we figured that. We were wondering if that threw you off, and then, yeah. It honestly does not feel like a Tuesday for me either, man. The weather getting warm has really thrown me off.
Yeah, and with my engine, I got it put in my engine bay yesterday, so it's there's a lot of work to do.
Okay, good deal, man. Good to hear some progress updates.
Yeah,
I liked your video on Friday. It's good to see some off-roading action again.
Oh yeah, I'm stoked to be back.
Yeah.
Out wheeling, even if it's not in my own truck, it's nice to still get out. It's been like 2 months since we've been able to do that, so that's been awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So what I missed?
Not much, man. We've just been doing small talk for the most part. Not really any tech questions tonight. Just talking about our trucks and mileage and problems and
Perfect.
rollovers and parts and it's actually a pretty laid back night. So
perfect.
I'm stumbling through here. We did look at someone installed a Jeep, half of a Jeep tub body on the back of a Toyota truck. That was kind of cool.
That is pretty
It
neat.
actually looked pretty legit. We're just about to go through and look at some of the viewers' rides. You know what? I did find one more cool thing. We talk about often on the show about getting truck beds from the West Coast to the Midwest or the East Coast. And I looked into it. We talked about last week. It's just not financially reasonable unless you're doing like a whole 53-foot like flatbed of truck parts. And
Yeah.
look what I found. This is I found this on Facebook. Look what this guy has the setup. This is what you would need right here to make this work. Now those are all square bodies.
Those are all square bodies, yeah.
But he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cabs
Like cabs and
on
beds.
top of beds. Yeah, I guess not, yeah, and 4 beds. That was a Ford right there, but maybe just 2 square body beds. But yeah, and he sells them out of PA, so that's what that guy does. So he's got the setup that I would need to do this with Toyota beds. Running one out at a time. I don't think it's doesn't make financial sense here. But hey,
Totally.
let's see. I'm just gonna pull up some emails here. So what is you got the engine swapped in? What else is new in the truck?
That's about it.
All right.
Today I added an accessory fuse and relay block because the 1UZ requires a bit of extra wiring magic than like any other engine swap I've done. It was just easiest to add a whole extra fuse box for it, but it's getting done.
Good deal.
Hopefully I'll have it started this weekend, somewhere in there.
All right. I got the emails up here. I set up a new email, Clinton. This one is on Gmail, so this way we'll both have access to it when that time comes. No rush.
Sounds
no
good.
rush. But this should work out pretty good here. So this is Hunter's 87 4-wheel drive. Nice, being put to good use there. Don't know any of the build stats on it. Spencer Walker, 1986 Toyota pickup. Nice. Got the boggers on
Smitty-built
there.
front bumper.
Yeah, I love that. Those front bumpers, by the way, people used to just scrap them, and now with the whole Back to the Future builds being popular now, those bumpers are gold in mint condition. Those Smitty-built bumpers.
Yeah, you don't really see them much anymore. They used to be everywhere, but yeah, you're right. Everyone seems to have scrapped them.
Yeah, they all went for like the ARB steel bumper style, and then now everybody wants these, and they're hard to find. So very nice. Chris, 87 DLX. Ooh, this is nice. I love the Steelies. I don't see enough of the Steelies on the old trucks anymore. I like that look.
Mm-hmm.
I had a set, and unfortunately, I sold them as rollers back in the day. But the grill is from an '85. Okay, yeah, it's got the
three slots,
3 column, yeah, instead of the 2.
Yeah.
Yep. Clean truck. I'm guessing you're nowhere near Ohio. White is the worst color for anything around here because it shows the rust first with all the stains,
It also doesn't look like a factory white. The factory white's more of an eggshell.
You're right. Yeah, it is more like almost like a little bit off-white almost.
Yeah.
So maybe it has been repainted. Here we go. Cole's 87 4Runner. And this is... Okay, we've seen this one before. Yep, very built. I like that bumper. Solid axle swap. That looks fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be tempted to lift a 4Runner if I ever did find a first-gen 4Runner. They look so good with some big tires under them.
Looks like 63s in the back.
Good eye. Yep.
I think I could see the factory spring mount too.
Yep, there it is. See, around here, those just like rust away, and you can just smash them off with a hammer. You don't even need to cut. Okay. The specs on it. Let's see. Yeah, last time we saw it, we said it was. Oh, someone listened to our advice, Clinton.
Wow.
Last time we said it was too tall and it had skinny tires. I mean, I didn't mind the look at all. I wasn't knocking it at all. He's going to get rid of the 2-inch body lift, and the tires are now 35 by 12 and a half 15s.
Nice.
and only 582 miles on the engine. The rest of the truck has 256,000. Um, I think I think that the 35 by 12 and a half. That's what I have on my 85. That's a perfect size tire for something you're going to drive on the street. I think it's not too big, but you can still get around off road unless you're going like crazy places, like they have up there by Clinton.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the steely rims too. The same D window ones that I have on my truck.
Yep. All right, we got an '03 extra cab pre-runner with a 2.7 liter. Trying to see where you're located. Is that Ontario? What's that? That's up your way. That's up in Canada somewhere.
Yeah, it looks like an Ontario plate. I'm pretty sure our truck plates are black in Ontario.
Okay. But look at
I
that.
couldn't tell you for sure though.
Now this has to have had the frame replacement. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
it has.
that looks like a pretty good looking frame.
There's no way that's the original frame, and that's what's
Somebody
cool.
might have taken really good care of it though.
Yeah, or that. But yeah, it's even got some wax marker or something on it still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's looking mint for sure. And that's what I like about Canada. Whereas in the U.S.,
Oh yeah, you're right. It's Ontario.
they bought the trucks back for 1.5 times the blue book value, but you lost your trucks.
Yeah. So in Canada, it was if it's up to 15 years old, you would qualify to get your frame replaced if they found a hole in your frame.
Yeah.
So
Now, when you say hole, does that mean like the hammer test kind of thing?
the
or
hammer test,
natural?
yes, they
Okay,
physically
hammer
hit
test.
it with a hammer and see if they can put holes in it. They don't just kind of go or visually look for a hole and say, "Ah, there's nothing here." No,
Yeah.
if they see a spot that looks weak, they'll start hitting it with a hammer and ramming screwdrivers through it and seeing if they can get a hole. Dealerships want to replace frames. It's paid for by Toyota. It's essentially a whole bunch of build hours that the dealerships do straight to Toyota, and then the customer wins because they get a nice new frame, and the dealership wins because they get a whole bunch of work.
Nice.
And then yeah,
See, I don't know why they didn't do that in the U.S. I'm not sure. Maybe liability. I don't know why, but they wouldn't do it. But they would only take the whole truck and buy it back, and that's kind of sucks because there's so many trucks taken off the road that were scrapped because of that.
yeah. And if you do get the frame replacement, it's pretty nice because you get all new control arms, all new leaf springs, and like everything that attaches to the frame, you essentially get brand new.
Oh, nice.
So you get a brand new truck frame down when you get it replaced. So
Oh, that's awesome.
I think lots of people, as soon as they get their frame replaced, they turn around and sell their trucks though because they instantly doubled the value of it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
But,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's weird. I mean, I assume all the frames between the U.S. and Canada were all they're made by Dana, I believe, or the ones that they
Yeah.
had problems with. So I don't know
Yeah.
why the different strategy on replacing them, but
That is weird.
kudos to
I've
Canada.
only ever seen one first gen with a replaced frame.
Okay.
That was kind of a later gen thing that it came in for, but but yeah, no, absolutely kudos for Toyota for at least stepping up and doing that for their customers instead of saying, well, your 15-year-old truck's rotten.
Yeah.
You bought it 15 years ago. What can we do?
Yeah,
But-
usually in the U.S., I think in the U.S., someone correct me if I'm wrong, the buybacks didn't even begin until 96 to this model here.
Yeah.
Anything 95 or earlier, I don't think they ever did a buyback on those.
Well, everything 95 and earlier generally didn't need it until
That's true.
somewhat recent years. Because I rarely, like, third gens at least, I've barely seen any with like completely destroyed and compromised frames. It's more of a second gen, first gen thing, but yeah.
All right, we'll wrap this up. We got 5 more minutes. We got a few more comments. I'll get to those. Thanks for all the emails, guys. Yeah, no more new ones there. Jeff, he asks, has anyone disassembled a 22 RE throttle body to replace the seals on either side of the butterfly? I've actually never taken apart a throttle body to that extent. That's a good question. I have not. Well, if so, how do you get the TPS bracket and the throttle bracket off either side? They seem pressed in.
No idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen. I don't have one here to look at. I know I've seen TPS parts. I've seen them riveted on before. They have to drill out the rivets. But if they seem pressed in, I don't know. That's a good question. Sorry, I can't give you some advice on that one. Future plans for the pickup. Which one? Let me know. I'm on 3 now, so could be both.
Probably the 85.
The 85. The 85 is going to get the frame repaired this year. I've been putting it off. The problem is I keep buying new projects, but I'm going to make it a point to get that frame repaired. It's about maybe 18 inches of frame I'm going to cut out and weld in a new piece. And then it'll be good to go off-road again. I won't be sketched out about it anymore until I see a hole on the driver's side under the cab. That's where I'm dealing with right now. But that's a plan for that. The 87 will continue to sit as I look for a donor frame and a bed, but it's not looking good so far, but we'll see what happens. And we talked about the 81 earlier. That'll be a summer project. Movie making 45. He's got a Smitty built on his 87. Oh yeah, definitely hang on to it. They are worth something, and they're going up in value, especially if it's not all rusty. Any suggestions would help. And yes, the team was replaced. Oh, frame was replaced. Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. We were just talking about your truck, Carter. Suggestions. Well, here we go. Let's find out about the truck first. He bought the truck last November, and he's done a lot of work, and a lot has been done since these pics. Frame is still in great condition. Hey, yeah, and to keep that frame looking good, make sure you undercoat it. Fluid film. I'm not like sponsored by them, but I use that stuff religiously. Some people use old motor oil, but that can be bad for like seals and all that stuff. Plus, obviously, it's bad for the earth. But no, fluid film has been really good to me. I use it before every winter.
Perfect.
2.5 years ago, the frame was replaced. All right, that's still looking really good. So, all right, guys. Well, that is it. We are right on time to exit. 10 o'clock here. We're all caught up. So
Perfect.
if you guys want to send me any pictures anytime to put on the show, send them to that email, toyotatuesdays@gmail.com, and we'll get to them on the live show. So thanks for tuning in. Glad you could make it to the in there. Oh, wait. One more question. Jeff, select one more in. Then we'll sign off here. Camper shells. Match body color or black? Yeah, personal preference.
Body color.
I would go with body color. Yeah. Although I think if it's going to be mismatched, I think white is probably the least eyesore, I guess. Because they come in a white. You see a lot of white ones. White kind of has that old school look to it, but definitely body color. And if you go out and do some Google searching, there's some really good pictures of Toyotas that have a matched cap on it. They look nice. Real nice. Yeah, that's it.
Perfect.
84 pickup. Yep, buy it, and send me some pictures for next week's show. We'll get it on the air. All right, Louie. Hey, thanks for checking in, guys. Yeah, we're all jealous of you down there in Mexico where you have no salt, no snow. But keep those Toyotas running down there for sure. And feel free to send me some beds, preferably a first gen. Anyone who finds any beds, let me know. If it's on this side of the Mississippi, let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. For tuning in, and we'll be back next week here on the channel again, and you guys are sneaking them in. Donkey Bizzle. T100s, good trucks. Never got the, the popularity of the Tacomas or the pickups. What do you think?
Well, they became Tundras.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it is almost like a pre.
It is. It's
Tundra.
Toyota's first attempt at like a full size,
What do you think
and
about them?
and it was originally called a T1 or a T150 or something, and Ford didn't like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Nice.
and legit. That's legit. What Toyota was going to call it at first was the T150,
Never knew that.
but it was too much like the F150. Yeah,
Yeah, Ford does like to sue.
yeah.
Very,
So
very
they
much.
ended up changing the name to the T100 and then later to the Tundra.
Okay.
And I think the T100 to Tundra change was also because of the Ford similarities as well. So they just figured they'd completely change the name to something all toy or something that sounds different and not like a Ford.
Yeah. You ever dealt with the T100?
Yeah. I had a buddy in high school that used to have one,
Yeah.
but that's about it. It's essentially the same as the pickups, except it's got a 3/4 stock, so
Okay. Now,
that's nice.
do they share the same frame and just put a bigger body on the frame?
They're wider frame,
Wider frame, but same
same
drivetrain,
control arms, yeah,
same
same
axle.
control arms, same diffs, longer CV joints. Actually, when you do long travel kits in the pickups, they use T100 CVs
Okay.
because they're wider, longer.
All right. Good
Yeah.
info. All right, guys. We're going for real this time. Check in next week for sure. Clinton's back, yes.
Yeah.
He'll be back next week as well. So thanks for watching, and send me those emails, and we'll check out your rides. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.